What's going on, guys? Welcome back. I'm here with my buddy Azriel. Azriel, say hi.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Excited to be here.
And as you can tell, there is a certain dog in the camera right now. Maddie is coming to say hi. We'll probably have another dog come in here in a moment to say hi as well. So, while I'm here hanging out with my buddy Azriel, we are working on some videos for you guys with the top teams for Territory Wars, offense and defense. We're going to cover each of those in a separate video, and this one's going to be focusing on defense. So we've got a list of 7 teams that we like to set for defense. We'll talk about what we like to use in those teams. We'll talk about some different variations on leads or other characters you can throw in them. But these are the teams we like to use for defense because they're the ones that are generally harder to fight against. There's not as many counters to them as you find with other teams. So we'll go through each of those. You guys have been requesting this for a while anyways, talking about a new video for Territory Wars with offense and defense. So let's go ahead and start talking about our favorite Territory War teams on defense. Alright, so first up, we have First Order for you guys. Talking about the Zeta Kylo Ren Unmasked lead with First Order Stormtrooper, Kylo Ren, First Order Executioner, and First Order Officer. As what do you think about this team?
Oh, it's such a great offensive team.
Talk about defense.
Oh.
There we go. We'll throw that into the blooper reel.
I think it's great on defense. It's one of the most common used defensive teams just throughout the whole community. This team gets, lots of defends, extra defends. Sometimes you'll see screenshots of 8 defends, 5 defends. So it's a great overall defensive team.
Yeah, it's one of those that's tricky. If you don't have the right team, like Ewoks or your OG Resistance to counter it, if you can't do one of those teams that can outgain the turn meter or prevent the turn meter from going on this team, it's definitely a hard one to counter. So what do you think about this team? Would you think because there's one of the better defensive teams?
I think it's one of the better defensive teams, and one of the best substitutions you can do is a lot of the players don't have the First Order Stormtrooper up to Gear 10 or higher because of the gear grind, and a lot of people have the First Order TIE Fighter pilot, and you can just sub those two in, and the team's still going to be great on defense.
Yeah, for sure. So next up, we have a Jedi team here with a Zeta Bastila lead with both Yodas, Grandmaster Yoda and Hermit Yoda, Ezra and GK. This is one we've definitely seen in Arena a lot, especially thanks to Zeta Bastila and her Zeta lead really helping to counter those EP teams. This is one you're going to find a lot in Arena, and we've been finding out in Territory Wars. This is a nasty team to fight on defense.
Yeah, it is. This is one of the most common teams you're going to see on defense, and the great part about this team is it's a Sith raid team, so most of the players have these. They can get lots of holds.
Yeah, I mean, outside of Traya, it's hard to find a solid counter to this team.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I know for my guild, we're having to use Treyas usually to beat this. JTR we've seen used on offense against them because the unresistible exposes. But that bonus tenacity on the Bastila lead, that's just something you have a really hard time bypassing.
Yeah, I see a lot of people in my arena that, may not have Treya. They'll use JTR to beat this team, and then you'll see a few JTRs on the listing up and down, and you know that they've taken out this Jedi team in Arena.
Yeah, so definitely if you're running your Jedi, not only are you going to get a great return on the Sith raid with this team and Arena, but also a very solid defensive team to use as well. Alright, so next up we have Traya. This one was probably coming up from a long way off. Traya Zeta lead, Darth Sion, Darth Nihilus. I mean, you gotta have the trio together. And then Sith Trooper and Count Dooku. You guys may have seen the video from Operation Metaverse on this called Dr. Dooku. And basically what's going on here is all the debuffs that you get thrown out with this team, and the fact that Dooku always counters, has a really high chance to do a double tap. He's healing back this team a lot, and this is a tough one to take down.
This is the boogeyman in the room.
Yeah.
This is the team that, you should expect people to set on defense, and you're just going to have to deal with 50 of them from your opponent's side. Yeah,
if you fight a team that has a lot of Treyas, expect to see some kind of variation with this on defense. And you may want to be saving some of your Treyas for offense for fighting this kind of team, because there's not a lot of solid counters out there. There is one with Thrawn and your Imperial Troopers, which we'll cover in the other video, but there's not always a solid counter to this team. So this is definitely a tricky team to fight on defense for sure. All right, so next up, another defensive team that we like to see is a Zeta Bosk lead with your four other bounty hunters. The two bounty hunters you always want to throw on this team with him are Boba Fett and Dengar. Both those are must-haves on a Bosk-led team. Dengar, with his Mini Mind Mayhem, throws out all those debuffs, and that just helps kick in that health and protection regeneration with that Bosk lead. Boba Fett is a must-have for any kind of bounty hunter team because he's just there to just wreck face, and his payout just makes him so powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, the other two slots, there's many options. I know IG-88 is one of the popular options because a lot of us had him geared from Phase 2 of the Heroic Tank Raid from way back in the day.
Yeah.
And Cad Bane and Zam both got reworks, and, I know some people have both those guys geared up from, back in the day also. So you just kind of have to pick your best two geared ones after, the best three there.
But Jango Fett could probably find a good spot on this kind of team.
Yeah, I think Jango has lots of potential. I think just availability right now, I don't think he's found his best team yet. So it's one of the ones that I still need to gear up personally. So
yeah. So Jango Fett, definitely another solid choice for that. If we, whenever he becomes free to play for most people.
Absolutely.
What do you think, Maddie? What about you, Ruby? You got any thoughts?
You want a cameo?
Yeah, come on over here. Come on, Ruby. Oh, come on, say hi to the camera.
Come on, Ruby.
Come on. Oh, there you go. Good job, Ruby. Alright, so next up, we've got the Scoundrel defensive team, and you guys are probably going to balk when you see that you've got Zalbar and Mission Val on here. Mobile Gamer did a video on this a while back. This is definitely one of the tougher teams to fight on defense. You've got the Kira lead, which not only gives Scoundrel allies bonus crit chance, they also regain protection every time they score a critical hit. You have L3, Zalbar, both of them are tanks. And then you have Vandor Chewie with his Zeta. You got to have the Zeta on Vandor Chewie for this team. And then someone like Mission Val in that fifth spot. Basically, the Zeta on Vandor Chewie allows him to constantly revive Scoundrels on this team. So he's a must-have. You have to prioritize getting him down first. Only problem is once you start killing Vandor Chewie, you're going to get taunts from Zalbar. L3's always taunting and always cleansing. L3's a pain in the butt to fight on this team. Same with Zalbar. They're both very big pains in the butt here. So a team like this, definitely one of those annoying teams if you don't have something to counter.
Absolutely, and this is one of the teams I think people like to put in tricky places, and hopefully people ran through all their good counters.
Yeah.
And I actually think that this is where Jango could come into play. I think Jango is an excellent replacement for Kira Lead in this team.
Yeah, if you take a look at the Jango kit, which I can pull up here in a second, the leader for Jango, even without the Zeta, you're talking plus 30 speed for your Scoundrel allies already, and all enemies have minus 40% tenacity. That's pretty big on its own. Enemies that are burning can't gain bonus turn meter. Even without the Zeta, you don't really have to worry about the Zeta because the Zeta only adds in bonuses for bounty hunter allies. So this is a lead you could run without the Zeta here because you're not running him with bounty hunters. So definitely look at running a Jango Fett lead for sure with this team.
It's all about the speed.
Yeah, that plus 30 speed, that's huge. Any lead that can give you plus 30 speed, that's definitely something you really want to consider. What do you think would counter this? Traya?
I think that you're looking at the Traya teams for sure. Maybe the proper JTR team.
Yeah, JTR, Traya, something like that. You got to use a strong offensive team to beat this for sure. Alright, so next up, we have a very interesting team here. This is a team you do not usually see on defense. I mean, it's Nightsisters. No one uses them on defense. Use a Zeta Asajj lead with Mother Talzin, Daka, Zombie, and Emphas Nest. Now, you don't have to use a Zeta Asajj lead. If you have a Zeta Talzin lead, that works just fine here. It's just that Zeta Asajj lead works better. What happens here is because you usually use Imperial Troopers to kill a Nightsister team, but that Emphas Nest in there with that AoE and the days completely shuts down the Imperial Troopers. This is a nasty team to fight on defense if you don't have something to counter it.
Absolutely, and with the rework of Zombie and getting the free revives, it just makes it a nightmare. Mm-hmm. This is a team that Mingmol was talking about his guild uses that is getting 3, 4, 5, 6 holds each time.
Yeah, I mean this is once you throw in that, it's amazing how Emphas Nest just makes like a total difference for this team.
Absolutely, and for the people out there that don't have a 7-star nest or a properly geared nest, throwing another Nightsister in there is just as good, like Talia or Alkalite, because like I said, the free revives off Zombie just sets the team up for some extra defensive holds.
Yeah. So if you were facing this, what would you use to counter it?
I mean, I would probably use Troopers and try to get the nest in the second time and take the 15 points.
Yeah. I mean, this is not an easy team to win the first time. I mean, that if you can't get rid of Emphas Nest, you're gonna have a hard time finding this team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, especially for a team that builds up a lot of buffs, and you're finding Zeta Emphas Nest, that's stacking crit damage and health steal. Yeah, good luck with that one. And finally, our final team to cover, CLS with Han, Chewbacca, regular Chewbacca, the legendary Chewbacca, Chirrut, and Baze, or formerly known as Chase. This is a go-to team I've seen a lot in defensive teams.
Absolutely. This is coming back. This is just a play on the old CLS team.
Yeah.
I've actually seen people run this in Arena recently, just to counter some stuff, but this definitely gets the most out of your new shiny Chewie.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how Chewie has just completely revitalized the Rebels as a whole.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's crazy. You throw in one Wookiee that can do 20% max health damage, and all of a sudden Rebels are like one of the better teams.
The downfall of this team, though, still is
Emperor Palpatine.
Emperor Palpatine.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Chewie's not going to save it for Emperor Palpatine. I mean, you can't get stuns on probably CLS or Chirrut and Han, but I mean, at the end of the day, they're still going to take massive amounts of damage because of his cackling do.
Absolutely.
And you can't counter that. So, Emperor Palpatine team with like Vader in the mix, you're still going to be able to clear this team. But if you're having to use Emperor Palpatine for other teams out there, you're going to have some trouble clearing this, especially with that guard ability from Chewbacca.
Absolutely. And Chewbacca, the Chewbacca now being available lets you substitute a lesser known tune that people were putting in there, like Pathfinder or K2SO or something.
Fulcrum
it gives you
Ahsoka.
Fulcrum, and it's going to give you just a more viable tune to put in there and make the team a little bit harder to beat.
Yeah, definitely. So that is going to be our 7 teams that we like to use for Territory War on defense. Let us know down below what teams you guys like to see on defense, or what teams you like to set, or what you guys think of this list of characters overall. If you guys did enjoy this video, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And to all of my McMinions out there, I will talk to you guys later.